We've created a wine compass in our brines to categorise the different styles of wine so that you can find your own style. Smooth Supple Reds on the O'Brien's wine compass. These wines should be smooth in the palate. Think velvet, think no jagged edges, everything should be fully integrated, soft, silky and smooth. Delicious ripe red berry flavours flowing over the palate. So we're going to split aromas and flavours into one camp, and in terms of aromas and flavours that come from the grapes, these flavours are not added to wine, these are naturally occurring from the grape varieties themselves. Thinking bramble here, black cherry, perhaps a touch of blueberry, but rich, concentrated, ripe black fruits. And then on the structural side, you have obviously acidity. All wine needs acidity to keep the balance and also to allow the wine to age. But then you have a touch of tannin, but those tannins should be ripe. So that grippy feeling from tannin on the teeth, that should be obvious, but it shouldn't be overpowering. It shouldn't be the main thing that you think about the wine. And the other side, in terms of the structure of the wine, the alcohol. Alcohol can be, it could be 13%, it could be 14%. The important thing about alcohol is it's integrated into the flavours of the wine. And a good wine should be balanced. The alcohol shouldn't be apparent on the back of the palate. If you have an alcohol burn, then the wine is actually potentially a bit out of balance. So we're looking for structural balance of acidity, we're looking for the tannins, and we're looking for alcohol. Everything to be perfectly balanced. And then the other exuberant side of wine, if you like, is the aromas and flavours. This is Chateau Parasa, and this is a blend of Grenache, Syrah and Mourvedre, so a GSM. We're looking at the colour here against the white, and we can see it's opaque, and there's a slight fade to the rim. And it's opaque because you have a blend of grape varieties here, and some of those grape varieties give you a very intense colour. General rule of thumb, thin-skinned grape varieties can often mean the wines are lighter in style, and thick-skinned varieties give a more intensity. There's a combination of light and thin-skinned and dark-skinned grapes in this wine, and it doesn't always follow. Sadly, there isn't a strict rule about that in wine, but it's a guideline. So, to some extent, fuller and darker colour may mean that this is a richer, more concentrated wine. So I'm definitely getting the brambles, I'm getting hints of cassis, and a touch of cherry, and then I'm going towards slightly herbal notes such as thyme. If you're in the Languedoc in the south of France, you would call that garrigue. It's like local native shrubbery, if you like, wild herbs. The palate's silky, it's velvety, the tannins are integrated, lashings of ripe fruit, really full and concentrated. So moving on then, we're in Rioja this time. This is a Rioja Reserva, and it means that this wine's had 2 years in oak and some extra time in bottle before release. So when a Reserva is released onto the market, it's ready to be drunk. The winery, if you like, have done all the hard work in terms of the aging. 100% Tempranillo. So what you have creeping in here is a touch of vanilla on the nose, as well as the garrigue character. And you still have those, you've got black cherries, you've got brambles, and the fruit is still ripe on the nose. And on the palate, very much black fruits coming through. Lovely trickle of slight salivation at the sides of the tongue, indicating a hint of acidity there, keeping the wine fresh and balanced. And then you have a slight garrigue nose on the palate, as well as that silky, supple fruit. And then moving on to Malbec from Mendoza in Argentina. Colour-wise, really, really dark. You can't see through, purple rim, and you know that this wine, probably from the colour, is going to be quite concentrated. Black cherries, going slightly towards a black olive note on the aroma profile of this wine, but they've still got that gorgeous ripe bramble concentration on the nose. And then in the palate, you have lashings of bramble, you've got ripe fruit, you've got hints of acidity, and it is silky, smooth, velvety in style. So that's Smooth Supple Reds. They're smooth, the tannins are supple, the fruit is ripe, and the overall impression is something warming and comforting as a wine style.